Hi guys, and welcome back to JavaScript Playground. In this video, we will talk about groups in regular expression. Say you have a pattern which matches a phone number with 10 digits. So let's quickly give it a try. So this string represents a 10 digits number. Similarly, let's create a pattern to check this. So what we can have is 0 to 9 or \d, small d, remember. So str, we can use match and pattern. So if I run it, it gives me these individual values. So to check a pattern, we can add the plus quantifier. Let's run it. And as you can see, it's giving us our pattern. But even if, say, it had 2 more zeros, even those would be returned. So what we want is, we want this limit to be 10. So now if I run it, it gives me the first 10 character, but it still matches the string, which is incorrect. So what we can do is we can give it a start and end condition. So my pattern should start with 10 digits and it should end there itself. So as you can see, now it's giving us null because it doesn't matches this string. So now if I remove these zeros, it gives us the string again. All right, so this is a very basic regular expression which is checking whether a given string is a number of 10 digits. All right, now let's say you have this 91 at the beginning. So if I run the code, it gives us null because the plus 91 also needs to be considered in this pattern. And this 91 is optional. So it might be there, it might not be there. So you might be thinking we can write something like this, 9 and 1 optional, because that's how we learn to make things optional. So if I run the code again, it runs. But now the problem is, if only 1 was missing, it would still match the string because 9 and 1, these are being treated as 2 different characters. So either 9 could be there and 1 could not be there, or vice versa. So now what we require is a way to club these together to check these as a group. So for that, we can simply add it in parentheses inside the condition, of course. So instead of these question marks, we can just wrap them inside these parentheses. So now this 9-1 is grouped. It will be treated as one entity. So if you put a condition question mark after this, so what it means is this 9-1 is optional. So if you run this again, it gives us 9-1. But if you remove this 9-1, it still matches the string. So that's the purpose of this group, or that's the purpose of this parenthesis. Now, let's say instead of just 9-1, we had plus 9-1. So how would you do it? You would simply want to write plus here, right? Now the problem is this plus has a special meaning inside regular expressions. It represents a quantifier, either 1 or more. So to fix this, you can simply add a backslash here. So it acts as an escape sequence. And now if we hit run, it still matches the string. Or if we remove this altogether, it still matches the string. So that's what you do when you want to check for some character which has a special meaning. So instead of plus, this could be asterisk or dot, etc., etc. Now let's say we wanted to check whether a given string is a valid URL or not. Say www.edyoda.com. All right, so let's create a pattern. Say var pattern. So /s, in between we write our pattern. Now if I hit run, it tries to match this www, and we get it from here, which is fine. Now what we also need is this dot. So when I add dot and I hit run, it also gives us this dot. But say instead of this dot, there was say hash, and I hit run, it gives us hash. So if you remember, this dot means any symbol, alphabets, numbers, or symbols, or spaces, anything. So even if instead of this hash, it was a space, even that would get matched. So what we want to do here is use this dot as a dot inside the string. So we can use backslash. And now if I hit run, nothing happens. So if I change this back to dot, and if I hit run, it gives us dot. Now after this dot, what we need is some combinations of alphabets and numbers. So for that, we can use the character class for alphanumeric characters. So backslash and small w. So if I hit run, it matches the first one, which is E. But what we want is we want this to be of any number. It could be one or more. So for that, we can use plus. So as you can see, it's matching .EdYoda. Now again, what we need is another dot. So dot, and before that dot, we would write a backslash so that it's treated as a dot and not a special character dot. So when I hit run, it matches this dot. Similarly, at the end, we need COM. So if I hit run, it gives us com. So far, so good. So even if I change this to say google.com, it still works. If I change it to facebook.com, still works. But say instead of this com, if I write say 3 times m, it still matches the string, which is incorrect because this is not a valid URL. So for that, we can put this condition at the end, which is $. So it just means it should end with a .com. So when I hit run, it gives me null. So if I change this, it works perfectly fine. Similarly, say we had OOM, it still gives us null. So we've got the ending part covered. Similarly, say in the beginning we had AA and www, it still matches, which is incorrect because this is not a valid URL. So our URL should start with www. So we can add a caret here. And now if I had say AA here, it gives null because it doesn't match us. Now, even this is a valid URL, .co. So if I hit run, it gives null. So what we need is this m to be optional. So if I hit run again, it works fine. If I give it an m, it still works fine. But say instead of .com, it was .in. And if I hit run, it gives me an error. So what we want is some way to tell or some way to give these options, com or in or go. So for that, what we can do is put these in groups. So there's another operator provided by regular expressions, this pipe. It represents or. So instead of .com or go or in. So now if I hit run, it matches. Similarly, if I make it .com, it still matches. If I make it .go, it still matches. Similarly, you want to give a support for org. So if we change this to org, it still works. So to make this happen, we had to wrap it in a group. So if this group wasn't there, let's see what happens. So as you can see, it's just matching org. So what's happening here is it's treating this as one component and this as one component. So either this or this. So that's why we had to wrap it inside this parenthesis so that it's treated as a group. And these options are between these elements. Just a quick FYI, these patterns are not 100% correct because they don't check for all the conditions. Say, for example, the phone number can have less than 10 digits. Similarly, the URL will also have HTTP or HTTPS. We haven't put a condition for that. So to make your regular expression more accurate, you will have to add all these conditions as well. And that's all for today. I hope this gave you a better understanding of groups in regular expressions. But if you have any doubts or queries, feel free to drop a comment below or reach out to me on Twitter. I'll add my Twitter handle in the description below. See you in the next video. Bye and take care.